Well, it's Dick here with today's Life App. I'm going to talk about how to become great. A great person, a great influencer, a great father, a great mother, a great employee, a great business person, you name it, you put your own title in there. The title of greatness. Romans 1 verse 1. I like this. This is from the Apostle Paul. It says, Paul, a bondservant of Jesus Christ, called to be an apostle, separated to the gospel of God. Just one little sentence, and yet Paul is identifying the pattern of his life and the characteristics of greatness in life. He calls a bondservant. A bondservant in context of the scriptures, the New Testament scriptures, was someone who had willingly made themselves a slave to someone else. Often it was to repay a debt. Perhaps they saved their life or something. But they did it not by because they were forced or by debt, but they did it because they chose to do it. And he says, called to be an apostle and separated. You know, in terms of greatness, there is a process. I call it a three-step process. There's a process or a time of serving. You know, there's an interesting statement here. Two diametrically opposed women have painted significant pictures about happiness. You know, Mother Teresa, who has now passed away, had devoted her life to serving God and others. As a result, this famous person, this nun, says she's incredibly happy. And by the way, the story is told that Mother Teresa could walk up to any airline terminal with the bag and get on the flight without paying for the ticket. That tells you something about her credibility. By contrast, however, there's another personality named Madonna. And she has been, if we can say this, on a hedonistic journey. I think that would be correct in identifying Madonna, to satisfy little else than herself. She's certainly obsessed with herself. On the topic of happiness, Madonna is quoted as saying, "I don't even know anybody who is happy." You know, that is the spiritual truth. There is a need to serve in a selfless way before we really discover greatness and discover happiness. And those who are self-serving, seeking personal ambition, seeking personal gain and wealth, maybe power, influence, popularity, will only experience the strife, the unhappiness, the pressures that come along with that. So there's a time of serving. There's a time of calling. That's when God enlarges. You know, I started really with a desire when I was maybe 18, 19, 20 years old to move in the direction of the ministry. And I started in just small things. I cut grass, you know, I did little things, you know. There's a time when God expands that call. And as a matter of fact, I don't think that process ever ends. He expands it. And then this is the last step. There's a separating. You know, it says in Acts chapter 13 that after ministering to the Lord, the Holy Spirit spoke to the apostles, the elders, and said, separate Barnabas and Saul for the ministry that I have for them. There's this time when God says, okay, now I have a specific job for you, a calling, a task. I have a charge to give you, and then He sends you into that task. And that is your opportunity for greatness. You know, that is the key to being effective in your life in every area. Allow God the time to allow you to serve, to separate you. The separation is important because He puts us into an environment where we are prepared for His work, like Joseph was down in Egypt. Man, what a story that is. Today's Life App, let God do His process to lead you into greatness.